Alrighty, Thursday, November 12th, 2020, 10:42 a.m. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to buy the market, and then after that we'll show you guys the charts. Let's do that. Voila, we are in, and we are filled. We are long 5 S&P December Emini futures at 35.63 even. Now let's look at the charts. Okay, here we go. Okay, we look at the 30-minute, and we see that we've been in a choppy range for a number of days, and actually after that historic move for the market and for our challenge, the best trading day we had so far, we've had 2 days of being very choppy and a little bit challenging. So today, though, we see that the market has consistently held above this red line. You see this red moving average on the 30-minute. And every time it hit it, it would go a little under and then come right back up. So it did that again right here, as you can see. And now it's breaking above all the moving averages on this move. So therefore, we are going long. Now, in terms of the, let's look at the 1 hour chart as well. And here we also see like a really strong base formation, and it's starting to break out, and it's holding this blue line. Okay, in terms of the 10-minute chart, okay, we see it's going above all the moving averages. In terms of the 5-minute chart, same story. And let's look at the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute chart as well, above all the moving averages. So we're going to put in our stop at 35 50. Let's see. Let's look at the highs and lows before we do that. Okay. Let's look at the highs. Okay, so we have a high of 35.74 and a half and a low of 35.38 and a quarter on the session. And then let's look at the 30-minute one more time. Okay, we're gonna put in our stop at 35.44. Okay, 35.44 is going to be our stop. Here we go. And again, we're going to give it some room. We're not about, over leveraging here, and we're not about, not giving the market room. And therefore, we will start with 35.44, and if we see the need to upgrade the stop, we can. Okay, so let's look at the working order. We have a sell stop at 35.44. Here's the market. Okay, let's see where it takes us. Alrighty, Thursday, November 12th, 12:28 p.m. So the right now we were stopped out. The market on the 30-minute chart is slicing the red line, which it hasn't really done in the past, and stayed under. So we will have to see if that is the beginning of a breakdown or not. I mean, it's been extremely choppy again, but it does seem that we may be headed for a breakdown in terms of the market right here. So we were stopped out. Where is our... Okay, we were stopped out. Let's look at our orders. So, yep, we were stopped out at 35.44. We have a 3.1% loss as of the moment. We're down $4,750 gross. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go short. This will be our second trade of the day. It's been a very tricky market, let me tell you. It's been very choppy. So we will, let's just make sure we're filled. Okay, we are filled at 35.44 and a half. Let's look at our chart. and we see here that we are starting to break down under this blue line. So yeah, this may intensify in terms of a sell-off. Let's see what happens, but it has been really choppy. Let me show you the 1 minute chart so you can have an idea. Wow, look at that. That's a pretty steep sell-off. That's like straight down from the 56 level. You see what's going on. But before that, look what was going on before that on the 1 minute chart, okay? Here, let's go a little more. So you see this. It's been extremely choppy, you see? See what's going on? Very choppy, very roller coaster-ish. Let's look at the 5 minute. Again, you see very tough market, been extremely choppy. In terms of the 10 minute, again, we're seeing very choppy action. You see that again, extremely choppy. And let's look at the 30 minute again. And then we see here on the 30 minute, like we said, it is breaking down. Let's see if we stay under this red line. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 30 minute, when you make it really small, it's basically been in a big bull move, up move, and it's never really broken through this red line, and stay down. So we will have to see if that will change now. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart, very similar. You see now it's breaking under the blue line. And then finally, let's look at the daily chart. We are near a resistance level. We had that big breakout, the high. We hit 36.68, what was that, 4 days ago? And then from that point on, we've just been very slowly kind of trending up, but been, like we see, very choppy. So we are at major resistance here. And like I said, if we don't take out 3,600 solidly, which we haven't, we took it out and then came right back down immediately, we have a lot of down moves to go, a lot of downside. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen today or in a few days or in a week or two, but we are near top of a trading range right here. So that is the story right now. We are short. Let's see where it takes us. Alrighty, now in terms of our stop, let us see where we'll put in our stop. We will put in our stop at 35.76.5. Okay, so we're going to put in our stop at 35.76.5. Okay, and let's do that. Let's ensure that it's in. Okay, 35.76.5 is our stop, and we are at 35.46 right now. We're still under. The reason we're putting it at 76.5 is that's basically the top of the trading noise, as you can see right over here above all of this, choppiness. So if it breaks through all of that, then we're probably wrong. But the way it's just been chopping around, we don't want to just get, chopped out at the top of the range and watch it go back down. So that's where our stop's going to be for now. We may change it later. All right. Alrighty, Thursday, November 12th, 1:27 p.m. So this is what's going on. If we look at let's look at the hourly chart first. We see that breakdown has officially happened. Officially. Well, you see that, like we've discussed, let me do this. Here we go. Okay. So every time since, a while back, it has never successfully crossed the blue line, the blue moving average. You see right here. And now it's the first time in maybe a week or so that it actually sliced through that line, and that may give us a nice sell-off, which already we're starting to get one so far, but we'll see how much that intensifies. So we broke down here on the 1 hour. Let's look at the 30-minute. 30-minute chart, same thing. You see, we were discussing the red line here. And again, it's never really broke through that red line for quite a while, going back to almost the beginning of the month. Like we're looking here at the, yeah, basically since almost the beginning of the month. I mean, we had that big rally, that big from 32.25 to the 36.68 rally with a lot of volatility, and we finally, let me try to get this clear, but we finally broke down, and we've really broken down, and differently than the other times when we broke through this red moving average, it's actually sliced through for more than one. So we have the initial breakdown, and then it's continuing to go lower. In terms of the 10-minute chart, okay, we see the market breaking down after a volatile, choppy experience. And yeah, we see that we are breaking down from this volatile range, but we still haven't broken down this low over here, so we will have to look out for that. It is still early. It's only 1:30. Okay, in terms of the 5-minute, we see a similar breakdown, and yeah, big down move. And then in terms of the 1-minute, we see a really nice short signal at about 35.55, and then it hasn't really looked back. Now, as you guys, in terms of our P&L, as you guys recall, we were down substantially. We were down over $5,000, and we are now actually up on the day. We're up $937.50, actually $1,062.50 now, which goes to show you that, it's like you'll take losses, and losses are part of the game, but it's not about whether or not you lose on some trades, or you're wrong. You're going to be wrong. You're going to lose money from time to time. And actually, you probably will be wrong more often than you are right. And the best traders on planet Earth are actually wrong more often than they're right. But, so how do they become the best, and how are they, like Ray Dalio, and all these guys, like the top billionaires on the planet, and as traders and hedge fund managers? How are they ahead? Because when they're right, they make a lot more than when they're wrong. So even if they're wrong 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and whatever, it doesn't matter over time, because once it goes their way, they really maximize and make a lot of money. And I think this is a really great way to look at life, ladies and gentlemen. In life, we fail a lot, and a lot of us break down from our failures, and we're like, oh my gosh, I failed, and just forget it. No, that is the process. The formula for success is massive numbers of failures. If you haven't been successful in anything yet, it means you haven't failed enough. So go ahead and keep failing, and keep growing, and keep progressing, and keep learning. And that is the process. Anyways, in terms of our P&L on the day, we're up and down right now between losses and gains, but we are at the moment we've made back most of our loss. As it stands right now, we're down about 562.50 for 437.50. So we'll have to see where this takes us. Let's look at the chart one more time before I come back in a little bit. And here, let's look at this 30-minute. Okay, so that's where we stand right now. Alrighty, we're at 35.27.5. The high on the day is 35.74.5. The low is 35.20, which we just hit in the last half hour or so. And we are attempting to bounce back a little bit, but I'm still confident that so long as we don't really rally back, and break through the red line, I still think there's more downside for today. All right. Ready. Thursday, November 12th, 2020, 2:18 p.m. update. So let's look at the 1-hour chart first. Okay, the 1-hour chart. We see that from the 35.20 level, it tried to rally to about 35.40, and now it's back heading to the lows of 35.20, and it never touched any of the averages since it's broken down. You see, it hasn't even gotten close to even the green line. I mean, the next moving average we have at about 34.65, 34.72 or so on that, this red line, but otherwise it's never touched it. Now, in terms of the 30-minute chart, we see that the market did bounce back and touch the green line, okay, and it got close to the yellow, but never really quite touched it. And now it's starting to head back down to the lows. So that's what's happening on the 30-minute. In terms of the 10-minute, we see, wow, the 10-minute's beautiful. That's why I love the 10-minute average. I think it's really awesome. Look at this. Okay, it gives you a short signal right here, okay, at about 35.55. You see that right there? Okay, when it broke through all those moving averages. And then look what happens. It goes down and it stops right at the blue average, which is a key average to enter long or short. And it stops right there and goes back and heading back down to the lows again. So very interesting. I really love how it stopped right there. 5-minute chart. Okay, 5-minute chart, it did break through the blue line, but then it's heading back down. So that's why you do want to look at different averages, because imagine someone else is like, oh my gosh, let me go long right here, right? And they go long at about 35.36, 35.38 as it breaks up, and then it heads right back down. But if you go back to the 10-minute, which we just showed you, it'll keep you in the trade, and you won't, you wouldn't have had any questions on that in that case. Okay, now the 1-minute chart. Okay, we see, well, that one's a lot more volatile because this is the 1-minute chart, but here we broke through all the averages but the red, and then came right back down underneath all of them. So in any case, we are heading back to the lows. It seems, to 35.20, and I believe we will break that. We will go even lower. We're down 42 points right now on the Dow. I'm sorry, not on the Dow, on the S&P. We're down 42.5 points on the S&P right now. In terms of our P&L, we're up slightly. We're up about $125 on the day, but have in mind we were down over $5,000 earlier. So that is the story, and I will be back on soon. Here, we're heading back to the lows. We're at 35.24 right now, 24.25. All right. It is 3:34 p.m. Right now, the market is at 35.18.5 or so, and it's down about 49 points. The low on the day is 35.13, so we're really close to the lows of the day. This is what the chart looks like right here, the 30-minute. As you can see, once we broke down, we never were able to go up above these major averages. We did get close, we touched them, but we really weren't able to penetrate them back up. So now we are near the lows on the 30-minute. Let's look at the 1 hour as well. Same situation near the lows. Okay, and then we have the, let's look at the 10-minute. Okay, and then the 10-minute, we did go above the green and yellow, but really once we broke down, we weren't able to go through this blue line, which is pretty important. And in terms of the 5-minute chart, we are once we broke down, we weren't able to go above the new resistance levels, these 3 lines over here. You see these those lines right there, the purple and yellow, whatever they are. Okay, so right now we're approaching the lows. We're at 35.16.5. In terms of our P&L, look at this. We were down over $5,000 on this trade. Right now, if we get out this second, we're up about $7,000, okay, on the trade. And in terms of our P&L on the day, we are now up about $2,500 if we get out right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to change our order, and we're going to put in a limit order right now to get out of the market at a set price. And the price that we're going to put in is we're going to put in 35.07 even. Okay, we're going to put in 35.07 as our exit price, and we'll take that if we get filled, and if not, we'll move it. All right, so that's where we stand right now. Alrighty, 3:56 p.m. Thursday, November 12th, 2020. So let's look at this 1 minute chart for a second. And basically you see, one more second, okay. So you see these moves of from 35.13 to about 35.27, then back down to 35.15, then back up to 22, back down to about 14, back up to almost 35.30. So these big swings are pretty significant in terms of your P&L, and that's what makes this market a little bit tricky to trade, because it has really big moves in a very short time up and down, and you may get on the wrong side, or hold on, or you may actually be like, you know, you might rush to get in or get out or whatever. So I mean, we're talking about swings of about $3,000 or so dollars, you know, over $3,000 in a matter of, you know, minutes up and down each way. And that's what the market has been doing. So we still have our order in to buy back the market. And, you know, and some people may ask, well, why don't I just try to keep trading in and out, you know, and try to catch these moves up and down? I mean, that's not the strategy that I do. I don't like to go in a million times a day back and forth, because, you know, if you're on the right side, that's great. But what happens if you get on the wrong side multiple times and you start multiplying that by a lot of trades a day? You can really see how that can really be painful. So anyways, we're at 35.31 right now. The market is about to close. We still have a little time before our 4:15 exit, so let's see where the market goes and if we have to revise our limit order. All right. Alrighty, it is Thursday, November 12th, 2020, 4:14 p.m. Let's get out of this trade, and then we will discuss it right after that. So, let's do this. Let's close. Okay. Just do market. Okay, and then let's cancel this one. This one. Okay, and here we go. So we are out. We are down $3,187.50 on the day. Our equity right now is at $154,868.40. So what happened exactly? Well, the market basically was breaking down right here, as you can see. Okay, it was going to the lows. It was right around 35.14 or so, getting real close to this 35.13 level right there. And then a rally just came out of nowhere. And this rally was so big that it basically equaled to, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 6,000 or whatever on that one move in a matter of 20 minutes. So, yeah, it was a very interesting experience. 5 minute, you see what happened? Huge rally out of nowhere. And we're talking about 15 minutes before the market closes. So my guess that it was some short covering or a short squeeze, a little bit of both, where a lot of trades got triggered once the market started to move. And then let's look at the hourly chart. So yeah, I mean, we just bounced back. Let's look at the 10 minute. Okay, the 10 minute actually broke the blue line, and then it went all the way up and then hit resistance, and now it started to go down a little bit again. So that's the story, ladies and gentlemen. So we are right now at $154,868.40. A little bit of a interesting experience this week, but don't you guys worry. We remain committed to working hard to make this a successful challenge. All right.